So what's up, Mike?
Can you hear me?
I think so.
So you wanted to talk about food first. Why we decided to sell the restaurant?
Well, I guess you could start with why you got into this. It's way better to go from start than start at the beginning.
How I got into the business.
Yeah.
Okay. So I used to be an owner of a tap room on 19th. And when we first opened the business, we got a Weber kettle grill so that we can smoke some pork butts for specials. And just very, very casual smoking. And then on our first year anniversary, a good friend of mine from a family from Pig-Headed Barbecue, they came and they served barbecue for our first year anniversary. And the one thing that really captured my attention was they smoked brisket. And I had never really had a really good smoked brisket. And I spent probably about 2 or 3 hours with them just picking their brains, trying to figure out how they're cooking this brisket. And the very next day I went out and I bought a brisket. I put it on the Weber kettle grill, and it came out absolutely terrible.
Hey, first times, man.
Yeah, so it came out absolutely terrible. So I sent them pictures. We talked on the phone. I got another brisket. I cooked it, and it came out like 1,000% better. But it still wasn't the way I wanted it, and it just really became an obsession of mine, trying to get this brisket just like theirs. You know, very tender, juicy, the flavor, and it's really that quest of trying to perfect that very slowly brought me here to this spot. So what I would do is I'd cook a couple of briskets. I would take them to the garage in between Pat's and Gino's, and I would do little pop-ups, and I'd sell out in like 20 or 30 minutes. So I was trying to figure out how I could, make more briskets, and that led me to taking my car and driving down to Georgia, where they make Lang barbecue grills. And I got a 17-foot trailer with an 84-inch smoker on it. I brought it back here and started doing pop-ups everywhere and anywhere I could, whether it was ARS Brewery, Yards Brewery, street festivals, everywhere, just popping up, doing all these pop-ups. So I did that probably for about 3 years. And then I knew the space that we're in now used to belong to South Philly Barbacoa. And I knew Christina and Ben really well. And they told me that they were leaving. And I started talking to them about maybe opening a barbecue spot here. And they gave me the name of the landlord, and I called him. And he was like, sure. So we penned a little deal. And originally, I was just going to use this space more of a commissary so that I can continue doing all these pop-ups that I was doing. But and I figured I'd feed maybe like 20 people a day. But it turned into a lot more of that very quickly.
I'm gonna cut some cheese, I guess. It's like my face is very shiny. Oh.
I shouldn't talk smack while I'm doing the video. I don't want to get in trouble with my editor. Move, Ted.
Ted's on a live mic.
right, we're rolling.
Okay, so I had met my wife maybe 2 years before we opened the shop here, and she was living in the Philippines at the time, and it just we're working on getting married and coming over here, and then all of a sudden this project kind of happened. So we started talking, when you come here, we're gonna do this business together, and it's gonna be great working together. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But even when she first came here, she comes from a very large family, and they're very close. And even when we were opening this up, we still had an idea that after a certain period of time, we would eventually either move to the Philippines or spend a lot of time in the Philippines or split time. We really weren't sure how that would happen. And we didn't have like a very definite timeline on when that would happen or how it would happen. But Danny came along, and him and his family were very interested in the business and learning about what we were doing here. And after a lot of conversations, they approached us about purchasing the business. So obviously it's an emotional decision for my wife and I, because we spent almost six years here working side by side, working 6-7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. It's like our little baby. But we decided that maybe this would be the time is right to finally pass the torch to someone that can maybe take it to another level that we're unable to do ourselves.
So like the baby grew up.
The baby grew up, and it's the business's time to spread its wings and see how far it can go. And I'm very happy that Danny seems like a young, ambitious person, and he definitely has a passion for doing barbecue. So we're excited for this. And then as for Eylonah and I, I'm really interested in trying to start a business in the Philippines and see if I'm able to do it.
They have a big barbecue culture there too.
It's a big barbecue culture. It's very different. It's a lot of meat on sticks, and it's cooked over live charcoal, which is I absolutely love it. Some of it's very spicy, which I really enjoy, but it's all very full flavored, and it's every part of the animal that you can imagine, from nose to tail
Is used.
Yeah, but what I would do there would probably be something very different. Just I probably wouldn't do barbecue there, because everyone else is already doing barbecue there, and they're going to do it way better than I could ever do it. So I'd probably do something different there. What I've decided to do, I don't know, but it'll be something fun. My wife loves to bake. She's an amazing baker, and so who knows? We'll see what happens.
So you're telling me, well, my brother does have has staff in Philippines, so we're thinking, okay, so because we do want to go back to Vietnam,
Right.
and well, if Mike's in Philippines and Philippines is relatively close to Vietnam, maybe we have someone to hang out with when we go to Philippines.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a friend of mine that I grew up, Jason, and we went to from kindergarten, kindergarten till now. We've been friends, and he's been tired of the rat race in Los Angeles, so he's planning to move probably in the next 1 or 2 years to Thailand. So I think a lot of people, especially Americans, on the Northeast and in California and LA, where it's just very busy, go. You can't stop going. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. And you can go to these different places and enjoy and really get to really enjoy life at a little slower pace. And the weather's really nice, and there's beaches everywhere, and
Typhoons.
there's typhoons, yeah. But I mean, they build the houses. Like my wife and I have a house there that we purchased about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's built with cinder blocks.
So she'll withstand it, right? What about flooding though?
There's flooding, but it really depends. The area that where we're living in isn't prone to flood at all. There obviously are some areas that flood, but they flood all the time, every time, and we don't live in that area. But you know, anywhere you live, anything could happen.
It's true.
So I try not to live my life in fear. You know, people are like, they call Philadelphia Philadelphia and this and that. You know, none of those things affect me. I still love the city. I feel very safe here. I love going out. I go out at night, go do this and do that with no fear at all. Do you have any fear when you're going out?
Not really, but then again, I go home like at 6 or 7 o'clock. There's no like, because I like to do my
Before the
things
sun
and
goes
go-
down?
Well, it's mostly to hang out with my dogs. So
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I try not to live my life in fear. I try to enjoy it. You know, you only get one time to go around, so yeah, you definitely have to make the best of it. I firmly believe that.
So you're going to stay on for a little bit. I overheard Eylonah talking to Christina that she's going to bounce after Christina's last day today.
So this is Christina's last day, and then the following Sunday will probably be Eylonah's last day, and then my last day, because Daniel had a vacation plan with his whole family, and his father really wants him to go, you know, with the whole family. So I'm gonna cover that week for him, and then that'll be my last week here.
You're like done? What are you going to do with your time off?
That's a great question. I feel like it's funny because like when we closed for the 2 weeks when the pandemic started, I was home for 2 days and I was like, I gotta go back to work. Even if I'm just like cooking food for charity, I need to be doing something. So, and I did. I went 2 days, I went right back to cooking. So, my wife's like, she really wants me to relax and rest for a little bit. So we'll see how that goes.
So should I take bets with Troy that you're going to jump back in somewhere somehow to keep yourself busy?
I feel like that's probably going to happen in some form. I don't know what form that's going to be yet, but just knowing myself and not just the ants in the pants kind of person that I am, I just don't see myself just settling down. Because people are like, "Oh, Mike's retiring." I'm like, I'm young.
He's not retiring. He's just planning his move to the Philippines.
Yeah. So it's funny. I was looking online the other day on Craigslist or whatever, and people have like these little food carts and stuff for sale. And I was like, what could I do?
You think of open a food cart?
So, you know, you never know what I'm going to do. I mean, I tend to be impulsive. I was impulsive when I signed the lease for this. Like, I had no plan, but the landlord had told me, he's like, I got 6 people looking at the space. He's like, if you want it, you got to do it now. And I'm like, all right. So I signed the lease, and I had already booked the flight to visit Eylonah in the Philippines. And I was like, I spent all this money on that. I spent all this money on the lease. I'm like completely broke. So I'm like, how am I gonna juggle all this? And somehow I was able to figure it all out.
It kind of worked out.
Yeah, I think so. I think you know the people in the neighborhood love us here. we have so many regulars coming in, and we know them all by their first name. So I think we accomplished what we set out to accomplish.
Awesome. I don't know. I'll still come visit, even though it probably won't be called Mike's anymore.
I think Daniel's going to keep the name. I think he realizes that, nothing on me or whatever, but the name seems to have a really good positive association with Philadelphia and the food scene in here, and especially barbecue. You have barbecue here, you have barbecue in Fishtown, maybe West Philly. It's not everywhere. But I'm glad you'll still come.
Yeah. I mean, where else am I gonna get barbecue? It's like,
Yeah.
go to Texas. Like that's a little bit of a drive to get to.
And if you go to Texas and get some barbecue, let me know. I'll come with you. And when you go to Vietnam, let me know.
Oh my God.
Christine and I will come visit. Because she wants to go next year. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm planning. I'm hoping to still go to Japan, but my vacation days are dwindling again. So like I have to shift it, or at least maybe cut down days of when I'm gonna be there.
So if you go, how long will you stay?
Probably like 2 weeks,
Nice.
which is not great considering how long the flight is and the cost of the flight.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go back to work and be like, I don't know where vacation days. And if I get hired for work, for photos, like, be in a pinch.
Yeah. Yeah. Japan's very high on my my bucket list. I want to visit Japan. I want to visit Vietnam. I think I would like to visit Thailand. I read all the stories about Nuck and like her travels and all that stuff, and it really got me like, wow, I want to go visit there.
I know. I went there in 2007 for like a week. Don't ask me. I went with my parents and my family and their friends, and I was like, it's a beautiful place, but they would not let me explore. So like, I was stuck in like a resort for like a week, which wasn't terrible, but at the same time, it's like, I'm in a foreign fucking country. Shoot, I don't know how to censor. I'll just say adult rated material on YouTube. But like, I wanted to explore it, but like my parents like, no, you're not. You're staying here. It's like, I'm gonna grown ass man.
Yeah.
So I snuck out.
Good
I
for
didn't
you.
know what to eat, but I ate whatever I could find.
Yeah.
Did get food poisoning, but I enjoy the food. Maybe not so much afterwards.
Yeah, I mean that's all part of the experience. I always make fun of my sister-in-law because I tell her that she tried to poison me because they have like wet markets there, and you can go buy seafood and all this stuff. And she went and she got all these clams, and she made this beautiful dinner for us. It was really delicious, but some of the clams must have been bad, and I was sick for like 3 or 4 days. So I always tell Eylonah, I was like, your sister tried to poison me. And she's like, no, she didn't. I was like, yes, she did. But listen, that's all part of the experience. And will I eat clams in the Philippines again? I don't know. I haven't eaten them since.
Oh, so you put a pause on eating
I
clam.
took a little pause on that. I eat all the other seafood. I mean, seafood is very predominant there, obviously because of all the islands and stuff, and it's cool. Like one of the favorite restaurants we go to there. When you walk in, even before you sit, they have this whole seafood display on ice, and you tell the guy what you want. You tell them how you want it cooked. They can fry it, grill it. And then they write it all down, and they give you a little stick thing, and you go find a table, and they prepare all the food, and then they bring it to you. So you actually choose your food before you sit. So you can actually pick the fish. So it's cool.
Yeah.
And they'll cook it over charcoal. I love that.
It's not easy to find that here.
No, I mean, I mean, we're different here. You know, we like all the service and the sit down. We like being waited on, and
I still miss the plastic stools from like Vietnam.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the curb of the street eating, without care that there's like a zooming by motorbike.
Yeah.
Just eating like grilled pork or whatever.
oh yeah. I mean, you'll find Christina sitting on a milk crate in a corner eating. We call it the Vietnamese squat. It's like, where's Christina?
Like she's eating like in Vietnam. In a crate.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but Vietnam looks absolutely beautiful. Definitely want to go. Christina, have you been to Vietnam yet?
No, I only been there when I was 1 year old.
Yeah, so you don't remember.
I do want to go there though.
It's really affordable. Like aside from the flight, you could get away with like an entire month for like $2,000.
2000.
Yeah, pretty much.
For a whole month. And you have family there, so it might even be cheaper for you.
Oh yeah. But if I go, I'll probably just visit some, because some of them are really, they think because, I'm American, they just assume I have a lot of money. So they'll expect, me to come back and give them money, and I'd rather not.
Yeah, my relatives do that to me too. It's like, all right, I know $1 here from here is about like you could get like an entire meal, so
Right.
I don't want to share money. I got you.
Yeah.
But just don't keep asking.
Just don't keep asking.
All right, let's cut this.
Did I do okay